Good morning, students. Today we will talk about the next topic in this class, in this chapter, that it is the oogenesis. So let's start with this topic. Oogenesis, which is important for 5 marks. Okay, and here this oogenesis. What do you mean by oogenesis? Means this is the process of formation of ova or egg from ovary. This process we can call it as the oogenesis. So here oogenesis, it is initiated during embryonic development. Okay, so embryonic development means when a female girl child is in the womb of the mother, at that time only this process will start. That is, formation of egg or ova will take place at that time only, not after the birth. Okay, so the next thing here, what is first of all, I'm telling ova or egg, from where it is going to form? From the ovary. So what is ovary? This is one of the irregular sac-like structure, like this. Irregular shaped sac-like structure. That is the ovary. So here it is initiated when embryonic development stage is going to take place. Okay, so million of the mother cells or the oogonia, what we call, or egg mother cells, that is starts to develop. See here, when a female girl child or female child is in the womb of the mother, in that ovary, million number of ova is going to be formed. Million number of ova or egg is going to form. When? During the embryonic development. Okay, the female girl child, during the embryonic development, million number of ova or egg will start developing. Okay, from where it is going to? See, whatever is ova or egg, it will be not mature. This ova or egg, it will be oogonia. Oogonia means that it is egg mother cell. What it is? That it is the egg mother cell. First term, here I will write oogonia initiated during the embryonic development stage. During this embryonic development stage, what happens means a million of gamete mother cells. During this stage, million of gamete. What is the gamete over here? That it is the egg. Gamete mother cell are going to form. Gamete mother cells are going to form. Okay, and what is the gamete mother cells? We can call it as the oogonia. Okay, the next thing here are formed within the ovary. First, what is going to form here? In the ovary, which is a sac-like, irregular shaped sac-like structure, in that million number of mother cells are going to develop, not directly the egg. Okay, egg mother cell, which we are calling it as the oogonia. First, what is going to take place? A form, that is the oogonia. Okay, so after birth, no more oogonia are going to add. Okay, when it will be in the womb of the mother, when it will be a fetus, at that time only million number of oogonia are going to form. After birth, no more oogonia are going to add. Here I will write, after birth, no more oogonia will be added. There. Okay, whatever the oogonia are going to form, that is only during embryonic stage, not after the birth. The next thing, this cell starts division and enter into the prophase 1 of the nuclear division. So that flowchart I will write here of oogonia. Sorry, of oogenesis. Here you see. Now listen here. This is the flowchart to show the oogenesis. As I told you, before birth of a girl child, all the oogonia are going to form. After birth, there is no more oogonia which is going to be added. Okay, this is completed. So here, so whatever this oogonia which is going to form the ooted or ova, it is going to take place in this irregular sac-shaped structure, that is the ovary. Ovary, which is the primary sex organ of the female reproductive system. So here, what happens means, this cell starts to division and enter. See this oogonia, which is the egg mother cell. Egg mother cell. These cells will start to divide by which division? That is by mitosis. Which division is going to take place? That it is the mitosis. Mitosis means that it is the equational division. Okay, so this after division, a cell differentiation, multiplication, this phase where the oogonia are going to form more number of oogonia, that we can call it under the phase multiplication phase. The next here, in this mitosis, this cell, one cell, it will undergo into the division. Okay, through mitosis. Here, that mitosis division is arrested. At this point, the division is arrested. Arrested means the division will stops. Okay, division is arrested at a phase, that it is the prophase 1. Prophase 1. Here, listen here carefully, that the cell starts to divide and enter into the mitosis. After that, one division. See, you know already what are the different phases of mitosis: prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase. When it enters into the after interphase, when it enters into the young phase, that is the mitotic phase, during this phase, the division will stops. At what time? When it enters into the prophase. Okay, here I told you arrested means it stops when at prophase 1. Okay, the next here, which gets temporarily arrested at this stage, and it is going to form whatever the cell which is going to form after mitosis division, that we can call it as the primary oocyte. Okay, otherwise prophase 1 aside, just you listen, that oogonia will undergo mitosis to form the primary oocyte. Then you think about that during mitosis, this cell is arrested or stops their division at the prophase 1 stage. So when it stops during the prophase 1 stage, and that cell we can call it as the primary oocyte. Okay, then each primary oocyte, this is the primary oocyte, that each primary oocyte will start to, otherwise some cells are going to start to surround that primary oocyte. You can see here, this is the primary follicle. Okay, and these all are what? Oogonia. In the ovary, all this process, where it is going to take place? It is going to take place in the ovary, inside the ovary. Already, here you can see there are many number of oogonia. Only the thing, they are maturing. Okay, where in the ovary after birth, but before birth only all these oogonia has been formed. When this primary oocyte is formed, at that time only some of these cells, and what are the some of these cells are known as means, it is the granulosa cells, like this. These are the granulosa cells, and this is the primary oocyte. Okay, here you see, this is the primary oocyte, and these cells we can call it as the granulosa cell. And this granulosa cell starts to surround the primary oocyte. You can see here. See here, this is the primary oocyte, on which inside the ovary, the sum of the cells, that cells are the granulosa cells. It starts to surround that primary oocyte. Then we can call it as the primary follicle. This one. This is the primary follicle. Okay, one layer of granulosa cell starts to surround the oocyte, that it is the primary oocyte, and that we can call it as the primary follicle. So a large number of these follicle degenerates during the phase from birth to puberty. Means many oogonia are there. Okay, not only one, many oogonia are there, million number of there. Okay, that million number of oogonia will transfer into the primary follicle. Okay, so that each primary follicle, it is going to mature. Okay, so it will, so whatever the follicles, whatever the more follicles will be there, that starts to degenerate. Okay, from million it will come up to the some thousands, because many number of primary follicles will start to degenerate. This primary follicle, when it forming a granulosa cells around it, it starts to degenerate. Okay, so therefore at puberty, when, see here, when a fetus is a, fetus means inside the womb of mother. This is about the female baby. When it is at 25th week of pregnancy, at that time only in their ovary, million number of oogonia are formed. Oogonia are formed. Okay. Then after oogonia, primary oocyte will form. It will be also a million number. If million number of oogonia are going to form, then it will be also a million number. Okay. So after birth, what happens? After birth of that female child, from birth to when it, that female girl child becomes 13 to 14 years old, at that time, this primary oocyte, it will be million after birth, immediately after birth. When it attains the puberty, this year or this age we can call it as the puberty. At this age, the oogonia or the primary oocyte will be 50 to 60,000 only. Okay, from this time to the till the puberty age, it will become so much less. Where does it go on? The primary oocyte has been degenerated. What happens here? That primary follicles or primary oocyte, it starts to get degenerated from the birth till the puberty stage. Means that is 13 to 14 years of age, that particular primary oocyte will start to degenerate. How much will be the remaining primary oocyte? It will be 50 to 60,000. Okay, sorry, 60 to 80,000. It is 60 to 80,000. This much only will be remaining. Okay, so the primary follicle gets surrounded by more layer. When this growth chart attains apivarity, these primary follicles or granulosa cells, it starts to surround into more and more layers. Okay, and that if it is more layers, then it is known as the secondary follicle. Okay, secondary follicles, then some of the layers are going to form over that particular secondary oocyte, that is the theca interna and theca externa. So that I will explain you later, the structure of ovum in that. So that secondary follicle, soon it will transfer into the tertiary follicle. Okay, here there is a space or a cavity-like structure to which we can call it as the antrum, which is filled with a thicker folliculi. Okay, then this tertiary follicle matures, then that particular matured follicle we can call it as the Graafian follicle. Okay, then after Graafian follicle, here the tertiary follicle grows into size, and that particular matured follicle we can call it as the Graafian follicle. Now come to this particular flow chart. This primary oocyte will undergo into the meiotic or meiosis one division, which is the reductional division. Before this, I want to tell that this one cell will undergo into the growth phase. Okay, how they are? You can see the size has been increased of what? Of primary oocyte as compared to the oogonia. Why the size has been increased means here this primary oocyte is surrounded by granulosa cells. Okay, or follicles, what we call. Here you can see these all are what? Follicles. So these follicles are going to what we call these follicles are going to give the food or provide the nourishment to what? To the oocyte, developing oocyte, by which they are going to reserve the food material in what? In the cell. So that is the reason it has been grown into somewhat larger in size, or their size has been increased. Okay, the next here this primary oocyte will undergo into the meiosis one, that is the reductional division, and this reductional division or this meiosis one, it undergoes into an unequal division. Means nucleus is going to divide equally. Okay, but this cytoplasm will divide unequally. That is the reason in one cell there is more reserve food material, in another cell there is no reserve food material. That is why we are calling it as the unequal division. Okay, due to unequal division, one cell will be the larger in size and the another cell will be smaller in size. So these cells we can call it as the first polar body. So this polar body will degenerate further. Okay, the next here the secondary. Now this cell we can call it as the secondary oocyte. Okay, so the secondary oocyte will undergo again into a division, that is the mitosis. See here, then lastly here it is going to form the second meiotic division. The secondary oocyte is going to undergo, and here it stops the division. When the sperm penetrates here, when the sperm comes and penetrates to the secondary oocyte, then only it will further undergo into the division. Then only it can become a mature ova or fertilized egg also we can say. Okay, so the ovulation occurs. When does the ovulation? Ovulation means here from the Graafian follicles, the ova is going to release. You can see this is the ova, and these all cells are the surrounding cells. Okay, at that time these cells are this grafting follicle gets ruptured. Okay, then from that this ova is going to release ova or ovum or egg, what we call. It is going to release. The process of releasing of ova from the ovary, that process we can call it as the ovulation. What it is known as? It is known as the ovulation. When ovulation is going to occur? In this flow chart, at the secondary, at this stage only, ovulation, it will take place. Ovulation takes place at the secondary, when the oogonia or the ova will be at secondary oocyte, the ovulation will take place. After ovulation, the ova has been released, and whatever the cells, it will change into the corpus luteum. Corpus luteum, this is one of the structure which releases the hormone, which is involved in the releasing of hormone, and the name of that hormone is progesterone or pregnancy hormones. Okay, so this is about what? The transverse section of the ovary. So once again, I will repeat here. First, oogonia will undergo into the mitosis division. Here, it is going to stop at the prophase 1, which will form a growth, increases the growth of cell, and this cell we can call it as the primary oocyte. And oogonia always it will be diploid, means 2 sets of chromosome will be there. Okay, it will multiply and it will give rise to the primary oocyte, and that primary oocyte will also be the diploid cell. Okay, after that, this diploid cell will undergo into the meiosis 1, that is the reductional. Here the chromosome number is going to reduce, N and N. Okay, and this division is the unequal division. Okay, unequal division of what? Of cytoplasm, not the chromosomes or the nucleus. Okay, one cell we can call it as the secondary oocyte, whose size is bigger one, because they are going to store the more reserve food material or nutrient rich cytoplasm also we can say. But we can say this one, it is the nutrient rich cytoplasm. So this polar bodies will get degenerated, and at this stage if sperm penetrates to the secondary oocyte, because at this stage only the ova is going to release from the ovary. Okay, the ova, this is the secondary oocyte only. At what time? At that time only the ova releases from the ovary. So if fertilization takes place, then only this ova will become, secondary oocyte will become ooted or ovum. Okay, so this is about the process of oogenesis. So here I will explain the structure of ovum. Okay. This, if you write this much flowchart, you will get 5 marks. Only this much. Okay. See here, the egg proper. Whatever the egg you are going to see here, this one, this is the structure of ovum. Okay, so this ovum is a spherical in shape, whose size is about 0.1 millimeter in diameter. Okay, and here there is in presence of cytoplasm, and that cytoplasm is known as the ooplasm. What it is known as? It is known as the ooplasm, and there is a presence of large central nucleus, or this also known as the germinal vesicle. Egg nucleus, which is large and prominent, which is also known as the germinal vesicle. Okay, germinal vesicle is there. Then here the cytoplasm contains some of the organelles such as endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, mitochondria, ribosomes and all. Okay, so here it is surrounded by a membrane. This membrane we can call it as the plasma membrane. Cytoplasm or ooplasm is surrounded by a membrane. What it is? That it is the ooplasm. Okay, then next to plasma membrane, this is the plasma membrane. Then next to plasma membrane, this part, which is transparent layer, which we can call it as the zona pellucida. Zona pellucida is the transparent layer which is known as the zona pellucida. Around the zona pellucida, here these are the layer of follicular cells. What it is? It is a layer of follicular cells, and this layer of follicular cells we can call it as the corona radiata. What it is? This is the in which there is a presence of layer of follicular cells. Okay, and which is known as the corona radiata. So here in human beings, the human ova or human female ova, it is microlesical or isolesical. Okay, this is also very important point. Here I will write. Here, one point is very important over here in this structure of ovum. In the ovum or the matured ova, there is a presence of very little amount of fuel. Okay, what it is? Very little amount of fuel, and if there is a very little amount of fuel, that type of egg we can call it as the microlesical or isolesical. See here, microlesical. One more, alesical. Means microlesical means egg with very little amount of yolk. And alesical means it is totally absence of yolk. Egg without yolk. So this type of egg in which organism you will found means will found in the human female egg. Either it will be micro or either it will be lesical. So this is about what? About the oogenesis structure of ovary. Okay, thank you. In next class, about the next topic, that it is the menstrual cycle.